Before you swipe your card, listen to the people who regret it. We recorded buyers, real confessions from folks who spend big on a 9mm and wish they hadn't. This isn't trash talk, it's what broke at 200 rounds, what jammed in a fight, and what cost more to fix than it was worth. You'll hear the pain, then you'll hear why the gun failed. If you care about your money more than an internet trend, this video is for you. I thought I got a deal. 2 weeks later, it locked up on me during a class. That's the first voice you'll hear. Not some angry forum troll, a guy who paid for training and left with a lemon. Cheap pocket 9mm pistols from lesser-known makers may look tempting. Low price, small size, and a shiny promise. What you don't buy is durability. Buyers report the same list of betrayals over and over. Extraction and feeding failures, magazines that refuse to seat, and finishes that peel after a single summer. These aren't rare complaints, they're patterns you'll find in buyer threads and repair logs. That's why people call these buyer's remorse guns. This isn't about snobbery, it's about basic reliability. If a pistol fails at 200 rounds in everyday carry tests, it costs you more than money, it costs trust. Repairs, broken holsters, wasted practice time. They pile up. Dealers see returns, customers post regrets, and the story spreads. If you're thinking of one of these bargain pocket 9mm, here's the practical line. Test the magazine seating hard, run a 100-round function string on the shop sample, and ask the clerk about return policy and warranty. If the seller flinches, then walk away. Spend the money once on something that won't teach you regret. Next one looks like a bargain, but it hides a maintenance surprise that fools even experienced buyers. I bought the RP9 because I trusted the name, and that was the mistake. Full-size frame, Big Mac capacity, dirt cheap deal. Looked like a Glock 17 killer on paper. I figured, why not? Remington's been around forever. Yeah, and so has disappointment. Out of the box, the grip felt like someone molded it with oven mitts on. Huge, slippery, and shaped like a shampoo bottle. But I told myself to give it a fair shot. 3 mags in, stovepipe. Then a jam, then a double feed so bad I had to pry the mag out with a multi-tool. And this wasn't junk ammo either. This is the same brass I run through all my carry pistols. The trigger, sponge. Reset? What reset? I'd pull, and the gun would hesitate like it was questioning life choices. It didn't track flat, it didn't group tight, and it made my Glock feel like a performance pistol by comparison. I didn't even want to sell it. I walked into the shop and handed it back, quiet and ashamed. The Remington RP9 wasn't just a bad pistol, it was the last gasp of a brand that stopped caring. And if you waste money on it now, that's on you. I bought the Taurus G3C during one of those clearance sales. Cheap, came with 3 mags, everyone online was calling it the Glock killer. And for a while, I believed it. First couple of 100 rounds, decent. Felt a little greedy, but it shot. I thought maybe I finally found that budget gem everyone brags about, but then it turned on me. Slides started hanging up mid-cycle. One mag wouldn't seat unless I smacked it hard. I had a light strike that left me standing there looking stupid in front of a steel plate. I cleaned it, switched ammo, still jammed, still failed. And here's what pissed me off. Go online and you'll see nothing but praise. Runs like a champ, they say. Best gun under $300, they say. Really? Mine turned into a clearance drill simulator. I spent more time clearing malfunctions than pulling the trigger. Support? Ghosted. Emails? Unanswered. Phone calls bounced around like they were dodging responsibility. Eventually, I just locked it in the safe and let it rot. Maybe I got a lemon of all lemons. Or maybe Taurus pulled off the greatest magic trick in the world, convincing everyone that a broken promise was budget gold. Either way, I'm done. Some tools just ain't built right. They might look the part, all shiny and eager like a young deputy with a fresh badge, but when the real trouble starts, they shake, rattle, and then fall apart. That's the SCCY CPX2 for you. There was a fella I knew that carried one, said it was cheap, lightweight, held about 10 rounds, and even had a red dot strapped to the top like some kind of dime store miracle. Told me it'd get the job done. I wanted to believe him. I really did. So I took it out back, fed it a box of brass, and it damn near kicked like a drunk horse. Trigger was heavy as a snow-fed mule cart. Long pull, dead brake, no feel. I kept wondering when it'd go bang or if it ever would. Then came the jam, and then another, and then that red dot shook so loose like it was trying to escape me. I'm not one to judge a man for trying to save money. But this ain't no savings. It's just a promise wrapped in plastic waiting to disappoint you. You give me a rusted 6-shot that fires when I tell it to. I'll take that over the slick little liar any day. And if you think this one was bad, the next pistol came from a real company and it still ended up in the damn grave. Some guns fail loud. This one failed quiet. The Mossberg MC1SC wasn't terrible. It didn't explode, didn't jam every mag, didn't do anything that made you scream, and that's the problem. It didn't do anything at all. I bought one out of curiosity. Mossberg's first pistol in years. Slim, modern, decent specs. People said it might be the G43 alternative nobody saw coming. So I ran a few boxes through it. Shot okay, trigger was soft, frame felt a little off, like the balance wasn't quite right. Recoil was snappy, not punishing, just unrefined. Then I cleaned it, holstered it once, put it back in the safe. 6 months later, I found it under a pile of gear I forgot to organize. I stared at it and couldn't remember why I bought it. Didn't feel bonded, didn't feel trusted, just forgettable. And that's the real death sentence for a pistol. Not hate, not anger, but indifference. It left no story, no memory. I never carried it, never loved it, and one day I just let it go. The MC1SC didn't get replaced, it got erased. Think Slim Pocket King and then watch it turn your day into a clearance drill. They sell the DB9 like it's the answer to every city carry problem. Ultra slim, polymer frame, clean lines. On paper, it's a lover's whisper. Small, light, easy to hide. In practice, that whisper turns into a curse. Specs first. Single stack frame, 7+1, polymer slide, damn near toothpick width. Sounds perfect for pocket carry, so I picked one up cheap, slipped it into an ankle sock, and told myself I'd test it gently. First range trip was polite. 2 mags in, nothing wild. Then the second week, stovepipe that gagged the slide, rim lock style hesitation, a mag that wouldn't seat without brute force. I swapped mags, swapped ammo, sanded the feet lips like a madman, still hiccups. One morning, it failed during a dry fire check and left me staring at it like it owed me rent. Compare it to a real pocket gun. Hellcat, Shield, Walther, and the DB9 reads like a prototype someone forgot to finish. Slim doesn't excuse poor feeding. Cheap doesn't excuse guessing whether you'll get a bang when you need one. It buys you concealment at the cost of confidence. Pocket carry isn't worth a gamble. Wait till you see the next one. It's prettier, louder, and somehow worse. Ready? They called it duty ready. Slight serrations deep enough to cut steak. Optics ready, striker fired. The whole tactical checklist. On paper, the APX A1 carry looked like Beretta finally joined the modern pistol race. But when a tool comes all dressed up and can't survive a work week, that's a problem. Over time, the issue stacked. Slide geometry felt awkward in real drills, not just a little snappy, but rhythm breaking. Trigger reset floated just enough to throw your pace off. Then came the reliability creep. Not constant jams, but strange hesitation, inconsistent ejection, brass flinging low left like something was out of spec. I reached out, no answer. Dealer passed the buck. Beretta support bounced me around and eventually stopped replying. No RMA, no explanation, just silence. The moment you need help, you realize this thing came with marketing, not support. The worst part? I didn't hate it. I wanted to like it, in fact. But you can't fix what a company refuses to stand behind, and you can't carry a gun you don't trust to survive a week without filling or ghosting you afterward. The APX A1 carry promised a fight, but it barely showed up to the range. So when the Glock 44 rode into the scene, folks figured it'd be the 22 King. Same size as the 19, same feel, same trigger discipline. Sounded like a dream for training, but after scouring forums, field notes, and more Reddit threads than I'd care to admit, the truth came out. This gun don't run like a Glock's supposed to. Owners across the board talk about stovepipes, failure to feed, double feeds, all from a pistol wearing the same badge trusted by cops and soldiers. And it ain't rare, mind you, it's common, especially when fed anything that ain't premium grade 22. One fella said his red dot held better than the slide. Another posted side-by-side mag dumps where the G44 choked 4 times before the Ruger even blinked. Most call it inconsistent, some call it dangerous. And here's the kicker. They all wanted to love it. But when a pistol wears the Glock name, it ain't allowed to stumble. This one did, over and over. Glock built a legend on trust, but this one's built on excuses. On paper, Bursa TPR-9C looks like a steal. Alloy frame, decocker, double action trigger, metal slide. Some folks even call it the budget SIG, but sometimes paper lies. First issue, weight. For a compact, this thing drags like a boat anchor. Non-carry friendly unless you're wearing a trench coat in July. The trigger, heavy on the double action pull, lazy on the reset. Feels like it wants to be premium, but it just isn't tuned. Now let's talk support. Try finding holsters, try sourcing parts. Even magazines feel like rare artifacts. You buy into this ecosystem and you're mostly on your own. No aftermarket love, no buzz. Just a quiet community still trying to convince themselves it was a good choice. And yes, it's reliable enough for the range, but nobody buys a 9mm compact just to sit on a bench. You want this to run, to carry, to count on. The Bursa, it exists somewhere between a collectible and a regret. It's the kind of gun you show your friends once and then tuck away so they don't ask follow-up questions. And yet somehow, the next one did even worse. Let's talk about a pistol that almost ruined an entire brand. Ready for this? This wasn't just a bad pistol. The Remington R51 was a catastrophic failure. A product that didn't just ruin range days, it helped ruin a 200-year-old brand. It was supposed to be a comeback. Retro-inspired, compact 9mm, soft recoil Pedersen action, marketed as modern innovation in a classic shell. What buyers got instead was a mess. Unreliable cycling, brutal slide lockups, awkward takedown, and a recall so massive it made headlines. The initial batch? Defective. The fixes? Delayed. And when Gen 2 arrived, the damage was already done. Most folks didn't even bother. Trust was gone, dealers wouldn't stock it, owners couldn't sell it, and Remington, it kept bleeding money. Multiple reports show the R51 project burned millions, not just in redesigns, but in lawsuits, PR disasters, and warranty costs, all for a pistol nobody asked for and almost nobody kept. It wasn't just the worst 9mm release of the decade, it was the moment shooters realized the Remington name didn't mean anything anymore. Legacy died at the hands of the R51. FMK wanted you to believe in the brand. American-made, proud, patriotic, engraved Bill of Rights lights, red, white, and blue branding. But behind all that noise was a pistol nobody trusted past the first mag. The FMK 9C1 Gen 2 tried to be a Glock alternative, striker-fired, polymer frame, similar shape. But the execution, unrefined. The trigger felt unpredictable, fit and finish varied widely between units. One owner reported the magazine randomly dropped mid-cycle. Another said the slide finish started chipping after 200 rounds. You would think at this price point, at least it'd be reliable, but go deep into the forums and the pattern's clear. Malfunctions right out of the box, limited aftermarket support, and a warranty team slower than a Gen 22. And sure, made in USA sounds great until the internals look like they came from a garage sale. It's all sizzle, no steak. In the end, F&K sold a feeling, not a firearm. This ain't no pistol, it was marketing in polymer form. This one stings a little. The Walther CCP M2 had all the right ingredients: German engineering, sleek design, comfortable grip, soft recoil. At first glance, you would think it was the perfect EDC, refined, modern, and built to last. But behind that polished look was a problem most shooters didn't see coming. It runs on a gas-delayed blowback system, which is rare for a 9mm, and while that does sound impressive, it means more parts, more heat, and more potential failures. The takedown system? Still a hassle, even in the improved M2 variant. There's no tool required now, but the alignment and reset still feel like solving a puzzle under stress. More than one user reported feed issues after a few hundred rounds. Slide sluggish, junk build up faster than usual. And while recoil is soft, that mushy trigger and sluggish reset suck the speed out of follow-up shots. Walther does make excellent guns, the PDP proves that, but the CCP feels like a beautiful mistake. A gun that tries to impress on paper, but ends up sitting in the back of the safe once reality sets in. You expected refinement, but got frustration instead. On paper, it's a curiosity worth owning. A compact revolver chambered in 9mm, no moon clips needed, easy to carry, and full of potential. But then you actually shoot it. The Charter Arms Pitbull 9mm tries to solve a problem that barely existed, and in the process, it creates new ones. The unique rimless extractor system, clever, yes, until it starts dragging cases or failing to eject cleanly. Several users reported needing pliers to pull spent brass. That's not a reload, that's a survival delay. Then there's the trigger, gritty, long, and stiff. You expect resistance in a revolver, sure, but this one feels like it's powered by rusted garage springs. And accuracy? Decent if you shoot slow, but bad if you try to rush. That lightweight frame paired with 9mm punch turns recoil into a snappy mess. It's not that the Pitbull is broken, it's just stuck between worlds. Too weird for revolver lovers, too clunky for semi-auto fans. You won't find holsters for it, you won't trust it to cycle smooth, and you sure won't carry it daily. It's a novelty and nothing more. And when your life's on the line, novelties belong on a shelf. The Kimber Micro 9 looks like a masterpiece. Brushed stainless steel finish, rosewood grips, classic 1911 lines in a subcompact frame. You hold it and it feels like trust, but trust isn't cheap, and in this case, it ain't stable either. The Micro 9 has a reputation: soft shooting, beautiful, and selectively reliable. Some units run great, others though, they're jamming halfway through your first mag. Failure to feed, failure to eject, slight bite if you're not careful. It's one of those pistols that works when it wants to, and that's a gamble you don't take at $700+ Ammo picky, mag picky, sometimes even grip picky. Kimber calls it break-in, shooters call it temperamental. You're not buying a 1911 for drama, you're buying it to trust that first shot and the 5 others after it. Here's the truth. It's not a bad pistol, it's just a frustrating one. It promises excellence and delivers excuses. You'll keep it polished, but you might never carry it, and that's the worst kind of regret. When a good gun almost earned its place, but didn't. Regret has a sound. It's the tone of a ticket you can't return. If one of these names was on your list, pause and ask the people who paid for it. Want a follow-up that shows repair costs and alternatives? Say the model and I'll break it down. This is your boy Steve, and I'll see you in the next one.